And they all think so, don't be talking sideways. He said you look like this. He makes sure he put Cardi down on his list. Now why this? Gonna look at my snap. I take a man and I won't give him back. I just walk into the booth and attack. I hit this guy in the roof will collapse. I've been broke my whole life. I have no clue what to do with these racks. They be late, waist snatch. Back, straight back. Got lips like Angelina. Belly truck tangerine. Jumping on my that's why they call it trampoline. Trampoline like a Monday for Friday. This is sweet Saturday. That just reply say I say babe, it's a he said it's a them pretty you look like Beyonce.
All right, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the so-called Silicon Valley and Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the San Francisco 49ers. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
Lucky 56. Lucky 56. All right, here we go.
Throwing on first down. Bates. There's the Penn State man. It's Chris Godwin. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a first down. So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line.
Now let's go. 3-19.
Now a play fake here on first down. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. That throw good for 4. It's second down. Four yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. The first carry now. This is Johnson, and he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
No. Check. Patriot. Over.
From the midfield strike, they'll look to throw. Escaping the pressure right. Looking downfield for Godwin. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. So he was past the line of scrimmage when he threw it.
And as they say, that's a no-no. Got to be able to understand where you are on the field and not cross the line before throwing the ball downfield.
So the illegal forward pass also costs him a down, and now it's 2nd and long. Now a handoff. It's Freeman. And he got blown up, losing yardage on the play back at the 44. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up third down. So now facing a 3rd and 16 following back-to-back running plays that went in the wrong direction.
Gone! Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19. Hot! Over!
From the gun, Bates. Looking downfield for Godwin. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked by Tarvarius Moore. And he is going to get this one back to the 20-yard line. It's certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts.
Detroit!
After the interception, here's Jackson. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Quan Alexander. And he is going to bring this back inside the 20 to the 18-yard line. That's now his 2nd interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? He's having to run with it.
And he's going to go down. He's sacked back at the 24. Solomon Thomas in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. Devontae Freeman. And he showcases the spin. A pretty good gain before he's taken down. 9 yards on the gain there, and it's going to bring up a tough 3rd and 7.
Okay, he didn't break that one all the way, but you got to know that he feels like he's right on the verge, and that's probably exactly what he's telling them in the huddle right now.
Check. Now let's go. Green 39. Green 39.
They stay on the ground. This time it's Johnson. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
They get it to him running left, and he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Give him 4 on the carry there at 2nd and goal. Second and goal, and the lone man in the backfield is Freeman. They'll look to run with Freeman. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll make it 3rd and goal. They'll try and run. Freeman. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage back to the 4-yard line. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. Looking at this situation, if you're at the 1, the 2, maybe you go for it. From here, you kick it.
I agree. I think you have to get points in this situation. 4th down, I don't chance it at all. I put the points on the board and go back and regroup.
A good drive gets them inside the 5, but they could not punch it in.
And credit the defense, too. Make sure that that happens because that was the old bend but don't break approach. Made sure they contained them when they absolutely had to and forced the field goal attempt that went through.
And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. The San Francisco offense getting their last-minute instructions before they take over here. And last time, one-play interception, so this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see when they decide to do a play call, because a one-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, you got a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10.
Gone! All right, now, look at 56.
They'll throw on 1st down with Jackson. Forced out to his left. Oh, that was dangerous. Threw it into coverage, almost picked, but instead they'll keep it on 2nd down.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10.
Gone!
2nd and 10. Here's Jackson again. They'll drop it off to McCaffrey. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. It'll be a pickup of just 2, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down.
Gone! All right, now, lucky 56.
Again, Jackson dancing to his left. He can run for it, and he will. And he'll slide down to avoid the contact. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
And this 3rd down looking very tough after the holding penalty. 3rd and long.
Gone!
Jackson will throw again. He's going to look deep down the field. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense, when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
And this one will wind up being down just outside of that 20-yard line. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Gone!
They go play action here on 1st down. And he finds a man on the crossing route. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? That sprang the big guy, didn't it?
And they'll dump it over the top to him. This is Freeman on 1st and 10. And he's got this down to the 35. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains.
Well, as we've learned over the years, just because a guy plays left tackle doesn't mean he doesn't have run-blocking abilities, and we just saw it there. Controlled the line of scrimmage, created a big gain.
That's kind of a bonus. He's there to protect that high value that you have back under center, but he creates space in the run game.
And not only can he dance, he can mash, too.
It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's the Bucs in possession. Second and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
Operating from the gun. Bates. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. John Ross, the one he was looking for. That'll bring up 2nd down.
Those throwing windows get a lot tighter near the end zone, don't they? And here's the thing. You already probably have 3 points in your hip pocket. You force a throw here and give up an interception, you come away with nothing.
Especially tough in the middle third of the field where he threw that one. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down.
4 down, check. Set. Green 39. Green 39. Here we go.
Freeman at tailback. He's got it running left. And just a couple yards there down to the 17. Pretty good little 2-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
The Bucs on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 8.
4 down. Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
Looking to throw. Bates. Gets it off to Freeman. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Good route, good pickup for 1st down yardage, and that is a tough one to cover, the angle route, because a running back getting out of the backfield, if you're trying to cover that, especially if you're in the linebacker spot, and you're seeing this play develop, he heads out towards the flat first, and that often gets you to overcommit running in that direction. Then he cuts back up inside you into the middle of the field. That's what we just saw there for a nice pickup. Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there. And he's in. Touchdown, Buccaneers. It's their quarterback scoring on the sneak from a yard out. And the Bucs are going to add on to their lead.
And the sneak works on 2nd and goal. They didn't wait until it was 4th down to try and get him across.
No, and I think if you're the QB, you like these plays. Don't you? I mean, you want to hand it off sometimes, but also prove that you can get it in there as well.
Yeah, it makes you really part of the gang, doesn't it? It makes you part of the crew, and it really bonds you with those big offensive linemen because then you get to celebrate with the big fellas.
And San Francisco gets set to go here. And things haven't started so well for this side. 2 drives, 2 punts.
So now you've got to start looking not just at play calling, but which guy's going to step forward and say, okay, let's get this thing done. Because within that unit of 11, sometimes one guy can make a big-time play and break through the barrier.
No. Now let's go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. 2nd down.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better that it hits the ground instead of going to an opposite color jersey.
Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a 1st down.
Partner as a quarterback, sometimes you just got to know when the clock.
Now Robinson coughs up the football. It's loose. But an alert 49er able to gain possession, so they will indeed hold on to the pigskin. And the defense not able to get it. From a defensive perspective, what's that moment like when you realize the ball is loose?
It is a moment where all concentration goes right to the football. This is something you've talked about in all your preparation for the game. You probably talked about since training camp. Knock the ball free, take it away from the other team, and now you have that chance. There's a little bit of deflation when they end up recovering it.
They knocked it free, but couldn't take it away. A good pickup there, 26 yards. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. On 1st down, this is McCaffrey. Fighting his way down to about the 35-yard line. Tackle made there by Matt Milano.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because when they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and...
Oh, the Buccaneer pressure too much. Down he goes. Willie Henry in there to get him for a loss of 5. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Detroit! Detroit!
There's Jackson on 3rd and long. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
I know at times people think we use it too often, but you've got to be able to throw guys open. And when you read zone, you've got to stick it in there before your receiver gets to the next guy in the zone. Otherwise, you bring him into the play.
And that's precisely what allowed that defense to disrupt the pass. The punt team on now as Pinion sends this one away. Fair catch called for and made at the 16 or maybe the 17-yard line. It'll be just an 18-yard punt. And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. Here comes the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Throwing to start the drive. Bates. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
I know the halftime's approaching, but I don't think he's going to want to take a break. That's his 5th catch.
Yeah, they've really been targeting the tight end. So 2nd and inches after that 1st down completion went just shy of the marker. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs.
2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the 1st down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the 1st down. That's exactly what they did.
Back to the ground, this time with Freeman. Across the 30 to the 31-yard line. And now the 49ers signal for a timeout defensively. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
To throw on 2nd down. Bates. He rifles one that's intercepted. Devondre Campbell, the linebacker, picks it. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. Well, when you start thinking of guys that are in the mix for Defensive Player of the Year, I think you use him as Exhibit A. Maybe he's not the leading guy right now, but he's at least on the periphery and deserves to be in the discussion.
And because of that, he's looking at a game today where in order to make that big move and maybe become the guy, he needs multiple takeaways, multiple big plays, things that get our attention and reverberate for weeks to come.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. A really nice effort that time. 12 yards on the keeper, picking up the 1st. 49ers with their first trip to the red zone thus far. 1st and 10 at the 19. They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. A minute 57 to go in this 1st half. Back with more after this. On 2nd down, McCaffrey. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. And the tackle there by Quan Alexander. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also third down.
Right over there, right over there.
They'll try and pick it up with McCaffrey. And they go the wrong way on this one. Losing yardage back at the 12. And now the Bucs deciding to take a timeout defensively, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And no field goal try here from the red zone. Offense out there. They'll go for it on fourth. Fourth down. Here's Jackson. Steps away. He may try and run for this. The Niners go for it, but it doesn't work out. And the Buccaneers defense holds, and they get the football back. A chance to get some momentum here in the second quarter, getting their first trip into the red zone, but unable to get it across.
And if I'm the head coach, sure you feel some disappointment, maybe a little bit of deflation there because you didn't get it in. But I'm going straight to rah-rah mode. All right, guys, we didn't get it this time. See you in the second quarter. We'll be back. Let's get it later on. I want to keep this team up. I don't want them to feel like they've let everyone down.
Positive.
Got to be positive in this situation. It's too early to think that you don't have a chance to win this game.
Back 99 Philly, here we go. Back 99 Philly, here we go. Hurry up, here we go. Green 39, green 39. Detroit, Detroit. All right, now, lucky 56, lucky 56. Gun, 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 gun.
On first down, Bates. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A really nice gain of 25 yards. This quarterback now 8 of 11 in this first half. He's got it first and 10.
Gun, gun.
From the gun, Bates. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
After the incomplete pass, here now is second and 10.
Back 99 Philly, here we go. Here we go now. Blue 90. Blue 90.
To throw again, Bates looking downfield for Godwin. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they didn't completions on first and second down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the first down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
Gun, gun.
To throw on third down, Bates going deep downfield for Ross. And incomplete. He can't hang on. Would have been a nice catch. Instead, it brings up a fourth down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down. The 49ers getting set to trot out there. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you've got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
Now Jackson on first down. Gonna let one fly for Robinson. And lucky to get away with one there. That one nearly picked. Second down.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Yeah, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
So after the incompletion on first, now second and 10.
Hurry up, here we go.
This is McCaffrey on the give. And he'll go down for a loss inside his own 5 at the 4. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. The Bucs going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this first half. The Niners on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd down and 12. They'll run it now out of the gun. And a short gain here as he gets it up only to about the 6. Now here's a whistle and a timeout. It's called by the receiving team here, as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. That'll wind up being a 50-yard punt, though they do get 10 back on the return. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. Bates. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Solomon Thomas in there to get him for sack number 9 now on the year. So we have reached halftime with our score 10-0. As we'll send you eastward to Orlando, standing by with that EA Sports. So he comes out of nowhere. He's got this handlebar mustache, greasy hair, and he says, would you rather eat a jar of mayonnaise or 3 sticks of butter? And I'm like, what? All right, never mind. 3rd quarter action now. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Here comes the 49ers offensive unit as they'll have it first to begin this 3rd quarter. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution? Or did they think they were just bad plays to call? Yeah. We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. They have not gotten him going at all. Tried to spark something there with a longer throw. Unable to complete it.
But you have to keep trying. He's one of their best playmakers. No matter what it says on the scoreboard, you're always trying to get him the football.
So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22.
Hey, hurry up, here we go. Green 39, green 39. 31's the mic.
Jackson now on 2nd and 10. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Robinson. But he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks. Now they'll run the option to the short side left. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. He'll get 8 on the keeper there. It'll be second and a couple.
Oh, man, that wasn't far from breaking in a big way into the secondary. Read option, quarterback kept it, and while he didn't get a first down, he did get a nice chunk of yardage.
Right,
only a nice tackle prevented it from maybe going all the way.
Jackson being chased out left. Powers past him at midfield. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And the Buccaneers have it.
All right, let's be frank. You hate the fumble at the end of the play, but prior to that, I liked a lot of what was going on. Tucks it down, takes off, picks up good yardage. But in that portion of the field, that close to the sideline, yeah, either get down or get out of bounds. Take care of the ball.
Yeah, he had the yards, but then the mistake. They'll try to get the ground game going with Freeman. An excellent way to start the drive there, 18 yards.
Whenever we meet with coaches and they always talk about wanting to establish running the football, it's oftentimes with a good tight end who can control the line of scrimmage and the point of attack, and they're becoming harder to find because the colleges are giving us a whole lot of receiving tight ends, former wide receivers who can run, not necessarily block very well. In this case, though, we saw 2 tight ends on the field, both of them with the ability to block, and he ran the ball successfully behind that power set.
On second down, Freeman. Freeman a first down and more. And finally taken down at the 35-yard line. They give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. On the heels of that good carry by Devontae Freeman, here's 1st and 10.
Set! Blue 90!
Freeman again, a first down carry. And past the 30 down to about the 27. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. On second down, Johnson. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down. The Bucs on 3rd down. 2 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 5.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
Operating from the gun. Bates. Open man is Godwin. It's complete. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue. This quarterback now 9 of 15 throwing the ball, 60%, and it's 1st and 10.
Now let's go.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. They'll set up the screen for Freeman. And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. It'll wind up being a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd and 12. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Solomon Thomas there on the tackle. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
The Bucs on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd down and 12.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39. Green 39. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Over.
Back to throw. Bates. He goes underneath to Freeman. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. Call it a 3-yard gain, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion. What you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the 1st down. In this case, it didn't happen.
So put another 3 on the board. All things considered, a good opening drive to begin the 3rd quarter.
And as a defense, the way that this game is going, you're excited to see those points go on the board. Gives them a little bit of leeway to play with when they're out on the field, but they're real excited to see their offense score. Now they get to go out there and do their part.
The 49er offense now making their way out onto the field. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
You like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Quan Alexander. And they will finally bring this run back to an end, but not before he's down inside the 5-yard line at the 4. He had his eyes on the end zone. He got close. At least he set the offense up nicely, but he's probably mad he didn't take that one to pay dirt.
I agree with you, and you know he's going to get teased because he didn't get it all the way into the end zone. But if they don't score now, if they don't get a touchdown, he won't just get teased. They'll be glaring at him. How can you not score?
They'll run here with Freeman. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
2nd and goal from the 6 this time.
Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19.
They'll give it to him up the middle. And he's into the end zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown. Devontae Freeman, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Bucs capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. Catanzaro now for the extra point. Extra point good by Catanzaro. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Catanzaro out now as he'll kick this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And now running right through it. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. The 49ers offense now, they get set to head back on the field. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens.
Single receiver. Set. Boom,
they go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Now he'll turn and throw deep back to... And this will be caught at the 30. Touchdown, 49ers. George Kittle, 77 yards. And the 49ers get a score closer. And when a Hail Mary is completed for a touchdown pass like that, I think any defensive coordinator just puts their face right into their hands.
I don't think there's any doubt about it, and I don't have stats in front of me. I don't have the empirical numbers that say that in recent years the Hail Mary pass has been completed more than it has been, but it feels that way, doesn't it? And I know the defenses are spending more time on it. I think the biggest mistake they make is that they play everything from behind the receiver. I think they've got to start getting people in front as well to try and knock the ball away.
Now the Buccaneers offensive unit back out on the field. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, I think you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage.
Detroit!
On first and 10. Bates looking downfield for Godwin. And for a third time tonight, he's intercepted. Reuben Foster picks it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December.
Of giving.
Right, it is the season of giving.
Right, here we go.
Maybe
Blue
for his
90.
own sake, after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
They'll try to get the running game going with McCaffrey. And he's got some space here. And he is out of bounds right around the 34. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards.
Now let's go. Green 39. Green 39.
Jackson from the shotgun. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. Willie Henry able to get in there and drop him for a 2-yard loss. They'll come up after the sack on a 2nd and 12.
Gun, gun. Gun, gun. Set. 319. 319.
From the gun, it's Jackson. Buying time to his left. Now he'll let it go on the run. Deep left side. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Set. Green 39. Green 39.
On 3rd down, Jackson. And he finds a man. It's McCaffrey. Needed 13, and with a good spot, they got 13 and a first down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Back now here in Santa Clara. This quarterback now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
From the gun, Jackson. And he'll dump this off to his running back, McCaffrey. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. Give him 3 on the play, and it's a 2nd down. 4th quarter, every drive's so critical, and you figure may only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Save it for the 2nd touchdown. You got the first one for the 2nd one to even matter.
And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. They give him a gain of 38. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30.
Here we go now. 319. 319.
Throwing now, Jackson on 1st down. Going for the deep ball. And nearly picked it off. He had a chance to come down with that in the end zone, but it'll wind up just being incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield.
All right, now,
Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90.
Play action. Now Jackson. Looking left sideline, incomplete. He started out having some troubles back in the first half connecting with his receivers. Really hasn't gotten a whole lot better.
Yeah, he's at less than 50%, and you and I both know that just won't do. So I would think about spreading things out, putting it on the receivers, make them win those one-on-one battles on the perimeter and find their way open.
This offense was on the move. Now two straight incompletions have him looking at 3rd and 10. Jackson. Open man is Pettis. It's complete. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. It's a gain of 20 and picking up the first. They'll run it now out of the gun. Showed some tough running, but they'll drop him at the 5-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
They stay on the ground. McCaffrey again. And across the goal line into the end zone. Touchdown 49ers. A great play there. His 11th touchdown of the year. And the 49ers have cut it back within a score. Gano the extra point. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. Gano out to kick this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Now the Buccaneers offense gets ready to head back onto the field. I'm curious to see, Charles, about the play calling on this drive. Last time out, the interception that led to a touchdown. Here we are. I mean, very close, 1-score game.
Yeah, and if I'm a defender, I'm actually chirping to you on the other side of the ball, saying, hey, we picked off the last one. What you going to do about it now? So when you do throw the football, high percentage, but throw it with confidence. If there's any hesitancy at all, it could end up in enemy's hands.
They run. Devontae Freeman. Not much room here as he only gets it to about the 30. And it's Reuben Foster in on the tackle.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. He got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there, and on that play, I saw a defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing in a situation where they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously, but at this stage, you have to take a few chances as well.
Another carry for the workhorse tonight, Freeman. And he's got this one across midfield into 49er territory. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
I know the game's not over, but there's got to be a sense of satisfaction right now for the guy carrying the football a bunch today. 99 yards, and he has enough time to go over this entry bar.
You got to give it to him again, right?
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. You're not worried about losing yardage here. You're not worried about any of that. You just want to get him to the promised land for every runner. 100 yards or more in a game.
So they jumped on the left side of that line.
And you know when you're at the end spot, you are like in the starting blocks, waiting for the pistol to fire and go, and he jumped a little bit too early.
56. Watch him now, Barney, Barney. Watch him now, Barney, Barney.
After the penalty, here's Freeman.
But they didn't accomplish their goal. They didn't get a stop there, gave up another first down. They have all 3 timeouts in their pocket. I think defensively, you've got to start thinking about using them here.
I was just going to ask you at what point you think now's the go time?
I think now's the go time. I don't think you sit back and wait because they can take a lot of time off the clock between plays and run 3 to 4 and really put you in a stressful spot.
Blue 90. 46. Hot. 45, Mike, 45.
Coming left, it's Freeman. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10.
Set. Green 39. Green 39.
On the counter, Devontae Freeman. And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
Check Mike 11. Check Mike 11. Here we go.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And a nice move will yield nothing as he's stopped behind the line. Whistles now in a timeout defensively. So a wise move as they'll use the first of their timeouts to force one more play before the 2-minute warning. Moved back to the 10. They'll try on 2nd and goal here. He'll get it up the middle. And a nice pickup there. He gets about 5 down to the 4-yard line. Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. This a big play for both sides. What will we see here? 3rd and 4.
Hurry up, here we go.
Now the pitch to Freeman. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to make it a 2-score game. And Catanzaro's kick is right through, and that will make this a 9-point lead. So that's a big one. Obviously, Charles makes it a 2-score game, his 3rd field goal of the game, able to knock it through.
Yeah, not exactly free and clear yet, but as a defense, you get to play a little bit looser, don't you? Because you do now have a little bit of a margin of error, don't you?
And San Francisco gets set to go here. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Jackson to throw. And he lost the football. And the Buccaneers have it.
Well, that drive wasn't a case of wanting to put points on the board. It was needing to, having to, and they didn't get it done.
Yeah, didn't get it done, and now you look at the situation and the point differential, 2 scores, pretty much game, set, match.
How about the takeaway, though, huh? How about those defensive guys?
Here we go now. Green 39.
The D can only stop it one more time as they take the knee. The D can only stop it one more time as they take the knee. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long.
4 down, 4 down. Alert. Hurry up, here we go. Green 39, green 39. I got him. Hot.
The D can only stop it one more time as they take the knee. A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter